Hi, this is Dirk from Caffenol.org, from the Caffenol blog, and I recently had a question on the Caffenol Facebook group, which was about this particular film, which is Technical Pan from Agfa. It's not produced anymore. William from the US was kind enough to send me some rolls of it. This is a 16-shot roll, and I did just put it into my Nikon F3 with a 20mm lens on, and I was outside and shooting it from EI 12 to 200. I was not adventurous enough to shoot it on 320 because that's what one of the guys asked me to do. This guy is normally a microfilm, so it's good for duplicating slides or for preserving text and stuff like this. It's not made anymore, so I then said, okay, in which recipe should I develop it? And normally I would just do it in Delta Micro, which is a really mild developer. It only has 32 grams of washing soda, 10 grams of vitamin C and 22 grams of instant coffee. I have this little cheat sheet that has all the receipts on it. If I want to use them, I just can have a look on them. And okay, so I have made a list of what the people suggested, and we had 9 different suggestions and divided them down into how many grams of each agent basically I would use, divided it by 9, and then I have come to the conclusion of using soda 24 grams, 23.7, so vitamin C 13 grams, coffee 31 grams, and KBR 0.4 grams per liter. I'm not a big fan of this because it's not available in every country, or it cannot easily be got there, and so, but okay, if you say use it, then I will just use it. Yeah. Of course, first we need to get the film into the changing bag, to get it into the development tank. I'm using the Jobo system. Doesn't matter if you use Patterson or Jobo. So tank, film, scissors, put them in there. I'm not using a film opener anymore because there are ways to open the canister without a film opener. Okay, close it down. I'm trying to be really quick. Okay, here we go. Okay. I tend to put it upside down once there is a film in, just that I know that there is film in there and no one can grab it and take it. So that's basically how I open the film canister. I just put my fingers in the gap, and then I open it like this, and that's really easy, and I don't have so much stuff in my changing bag. Now, as we have our film in our developing tank, it's time to measure down our receipt, and we use my super cheap 10 or 20 euro, I kind of forgot a scale for that, and I tend to use a little sheet of paper and fold it down to this little container, so measurement goes well. Okay, so we need 24 grams of washing soda. So soda goes in here. Then vitamin C. $13 grams. Okay. Belmonthofer, volles Aroma. 31. 31. And of course, last but not least, KBR, where I put it? There. 0.4. Okay, I'm using a bit more because I don't think it's accurate enough. Okay, and we just leave that in there and put it into the mix at the end. So there we have 1 liter of water at just 20 degrees. Okay, 100 and the rest. I really like mixing it separately because that makes it easier to dissolve, especially the soda. And the coffee I mix last because it takes a bit to dissolve, so that's fine leaving it in there. I don't know if you have noticed, but if you put in your soda, your temperature rises by 3 degrees. Put that together. Of course you can do everything in one beaker. Just my way to do it. That's fine. So now let's have a look at the coffee. Okay, now we put everything together. Okay, looks good. And then we stir here. Okay, 21. Okay, so now we need to add caviar. I don't know if this dissolves properly, but let's just put it in. And we stir a bit more. Okay, 5 minutes. Proper coffee. Now, if I look on my cheat sheet, there we had 6 people saying normal agitation and 3 people saying stand. So what will we do for the next 30 minutes? So I think we just do 6 inversions initially and then 3 times after 15 minutes. That sounds fair. Okay. Neuer Timer, 15 Minuten. And off we go.
Okay, 15 Minuten. Los geht's.
Okay. Close it. And we do. And at the end you just stomp a few times to get the bubbles off the film. So while we wait, it's another 6.5 minutes, we can test our fixer. That's the way I do it. So I use a tiny bit of fixer. As you can see by the color, it has already been used with Caffenol. There are those fixer test stripes which you can use. You just basically put in there and wait a bit, and then you can compare how much silver is in there, and you can also measure the pH value. Okay, so let's see. That's a 2, between 2 and 3, so it's still usable. But the way I do it is I just take the film leader and I throw it in there. And if it takes longer than a minute to clear, I just make new fixer. Okay, it's already clearing up. So as you can see, it's clear. So time is done. So we do 3 gentle inversions. Neuer Timer 15 Minuten. And we do the rest.
Okay, 15 Minuten. Los geht's.
So the last 30 seconds of the development. So we'll just remove the lid. Okay, 4, 3, 2 and off. Okay, I stop with water only. Okay, this is basically the pre-wash before fixing the film. Okay, dump that. You see how brown it is? I do that again. We put in the fixer. It's Ilford Rapid Fix. Should be enough. And we say 5 minutes. Neuer Timer, 5 Minuten.
Okay, 5 Minuten. Los geht's.
Okay, so the timer is done for fixing the film. So we will pull back the fixer. We add water. That's it. And then you can now follow me into my bathroom to do the final washing. So now we're back in my bathroom where we'll just do the final wash of the film. So we remove the lid. Pour out the water we just put in after fixing, and I'm always doing the Ilford archive wash method, which involves putting water in, then you agitate for 5 times, pour out the water, do the same 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, 25 times, and then that should be enough to remove the rest of developer and fixer from the film. Okay, so I remove this water and then I do another wash just like this. And then I have this wetting agent from Aqua, which you need to dilute like I think 1 to 200. Yeah, 1 part water, 200 parts. No, 1 part of wetting agent and 200 parts of water. I've prepared that and I put that in. Okay. Which helps drying the film a bit faster. Just let it sit in here. Okay. Top tip on getting dust-free negatives is before you hang your film, put in a hot shower until you have a foggy bathroom, just a bit. And then what I usually do is I wipe the film gently with a soft kitchen cloth. Okay, there we go. And I guess it's super overdeveloped now. Aha! There is something on it. Okay, but it looks weird. Only in the middle. I'll show you with this camera. This is weird. I guess the camera has an error. Really strange. Okay, so clip and put a weight on the other side. And we hang it to dry. Wouldn't it be great if we could go back to the place where I actually shot these pictures? And this is just where we are now. It's super cold now. It is really overcast today, and it's the same situation as I have shot those pictures. Some people call it the biggest softbox in the world, and I disagree. As you have seen from the scans that I showed you in my bathroom, the film has a little problem. And I guess it is because it was a roll of 30 meters, which was customized by William, and he sent me those, and I guess that it was exposed to light, which on especially microfilms is a problem because it has a clear film base, so even if light only touches the sides, the light will go inside the film and expose it. Luckily enough, on all of the frames that I shot there are pictures, and we can just start with one that I shot right over there. Basically it's this one, so we see the top and the bottom has been exposed to light before the exposure, because we don't see anything on here. It looks almost like a panorama shot, which is quite an interesting effect. This was shot at ISO 50, and as being a microfilm there are lots of details. Even if you would zoom in, really zoom in, then you would see a lot of details. I guess this could even be printed on A3 with no loss of detail, because the film has virtually no grain. What you see here is the test scene that I've shot, because I said I will expose the film from ISO 12 to ISO 200. Some of you said I should do 320, but with that sky this is not possible. And I was quite surprised that on every single frame of this big exposure range there was actually a picture showing. So I did 4 shots in sequence. There we have ISO 25. There we have 50, there we have 100, and there we have 200. On the 200 ISO exposure there is not so much that you can see, but there is still many details which comes from the really fine grain of the microfilm, and you will see in the scans if I do an automatic exposure or in Lightroom, there are still really a lot of things to see in there. The ISO 25 looks beautiful, the 50 is still okay, and in the ISO 100 you can really see that the sky darkens up, because I've set the white point to the burnt out frame on most of those, so we can really compare those exposures. This is one of my favorites of this roll, because the damaged film on the sides really sucks you into this image, and the stairs really help with that, and so I really like it. So here are the rest of the shots that I took, and it's amazing how much detail this film still picks up even though it's damaged. There were some snowmen on the other side of the lake, because there was still snow there. That's also a quite nice scene. Yeah, that one is really contrasty. This is a shower over there, and if you play with the exposure you can still see the head of the shower in very fine detail. Did some portrait shots as well. This one I quite like. It's water damage from here a bit because it's raining. My assistant says it's not. And that's where we started. So I hereby conclude that using technical pan from an exposure range from EI12 to EI100, I would not use 200, really works out and is beautiful in the new recipe that you created basically on our beautiful Facebook group, which I just want to mention again. If you are a member on Facebook and you like analog film or film developing in general, you can come into our group, which is facebook.com/groups/Caffenol. Join it and have fun. Bye.